everyone. Welcome back to Water Cooler TV. This week we have tight end Will Mallory from University of Miami joining us.
How are you guys doing? I'm Will Mallory, junior tight end at the University of Miami.
We always hear about like your first catch, your first game, your first touchdown, but we want to go into a little bit about the Will Mallory story. So we can start off with your childhood. I mean, we know that your grandfather was a coach. We know that your father is the current special teams coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So were you pressured into playing football, or was it just something that you loved and were always interested in?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I was pressured into it, but like when you grow up around it, it's just natural to you. Like, I mean, from every time we had family reunions or anytime, like all of our cousins together, because my other two uncles both coach football too. My other uncle coaches for the Falcons, and then my other uncle coaches he's the head coach at Indiana State. So whenever we were all together, like that's all we talk about. It's all we know is just football. So I wouldn't say I was pressured into it. It just came naturally to me. And I mean, growing up around it that much, you just end up loving it. So it was pretty natural for me.
Were there any times that you were just like, I'm done with it, I want to quit, like leave me alone?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I remember back when I was in like, I don't know, 5th grade, 6th grade, I was telling my mom, I was like, I don't want to go to practice. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to quit and stuff. And they wanted me to do whatever I wanted to do, what made me happy. But if I ever started a football season or a basketball season, like they would never let me quit. I had to finish it through. So I never ended up quitting, obviously. And I'd say it worked out well.
We're going to move into the sort of the college decision-making process. So you had lots of offers from some very respectable programs coming out of high school, including University of Alabama and Clemson. So aside from Florida being your home state, what made you choose to commit to UMiami?
Yeah, so that was a really interesting process. Like I said, that I come from a football family. So my dad and my two uncles, they all played at Michigan. And my mom and my aunt attended University of Michigan too. And I got family up there too. So they were also my first offer when I was a freshman. So I always thought I was going to Michigan. Like I thought I was like locked in going there. And then once Miami offered, like I kind of grew up around like Jeremy Shockey, Jimmy Graham, like Jonathan Vilma played for the Saints too when my dad was there. So like I kind of always like knew about Miami. But then once they offered me, I was recruited by Todd Hartley, who's now with Georgia, and he just kind of really built like a special relationship with me. And really, I would say out of all the schools, they just felt the most natural and most like genuine. So that probably interested me the most. And then like coming down and visiting, like, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, just how nice it is down here. And the history that the program has, especially at the tight end position too, was something that was like huge for me. And so that's probably really what it came down to most is, did I feel like comfortable with the coaches, the school, the area, and then like the program, it just the history and being a part of tight end U, whatever, like that was a big deal for me.
There wasn't a single thought in your head, maybe going, my parents live here though. Maybe I want to go far, far away.
No, 5 hours away from Jacksonville was good enough for me. No, I mean, plus in a coaching family, like, I mean, I honestly never thought my dad would probably still be in Jacksonville. Like we used to move like every year. So the fact that they're still in Florida is extremely nice because my mom gets to come down to the games and stuff. But no, I never wanted to get far away. So it's a nice distance from home.
Like you mentioned, obviously visiting the campus was, sort of sealed the deal for you. Obviously, it's a beautiful campus. And right now, just talking about your daily life. So on that campus, right, you're also a student, you're an athlete, and you're like a college kid, obviously wants to have fun. And, it's also easy to slack off. How do you stay focused on football and like really not get distracted?
Well, the good thing is they plan your schedule perfectly, or I mean, I'd say perfectly, but to the point where like you are literally doing football for a good portion of the day. My average day during the year is like I wake up at 6. I have to check into breakfast by 6:30. I have to get taped and dressed like 7 to 7:30. Our first meeting is like 7:45, and we meet till about like 9:05, and then we go out and then do walkthroughs from like 9:20 to like 9:40, and then practice starts, and we practice from like 9:45 till 11:30ish, and then like straight from there, all of our classes are scheduled start at noon and go the rest of the afternoon. And by the time you're done with classes and stuff, like you are dead tired. So the only thing you want to do is go home and go to sleep. So it's not hard to stay focused, I'd say. I mean, obviously, like game day, you're hyped up for that. That's all you're focusing on. And then, like in a pre-COVID world, like after the games is fun. Like you get to go out with your buddies, and I mean, a couple of us are kind of in frats and stuff, so we get to be kind of involved in stuff like that if that's going on. So it's not. I mean, there's obviously guys who struggle to stay focused and maybe get lost in the college life and living on their own and away from their parents. But if you really kind of tuned in to football and you're serious about it, it's not hard to stay focused.
Was there like a turning point for you between either a certain year of high school or from high school to college that you had to make like a certain change to like get yourself in that mentality of?
Yeah, I would say like probably like freshman year, like everyone kind of comes in and or not everyone, but like you're excited, you're away from your family, you're living on your own. You're definitely kind of, I don't know, you're living the college life for a little bit. Maybe you go out with your buddies and stuff, but like after a little while, guys who are serious about it, like for me, it didn't take long to where I was like, all right, you can't do all that stuff. Like you can't be staying up late and going out.
You lived in the house with two of your teammates. One of them happened to be Brevin Jordan. Another tight end. I mean, he's kind of your competition, so to say. What's it like living in a house with your competition?
I mean, it's interesting because if you guys have any idea what he's like or who he is, like he's a very energetic, he's a very lively, funny guy, and he's a lot of fun to live with. But from like a competition standpoint, like I mean, since we've come in together, we've lived together since like we stepped foot on campus. So, and we're always in the same meetings, we're always doing the same things. So, like competition wise, we push each other. Like I push him, he pushes me. So I think that being able to do that has benefited us a lot. But living with him and Bubba was a lot of fun. They're definitely wild guys, but they're fun to be around, and they're good people. So I definitely enjoyed living with them. The only times I ever had issues is if like Brevin or Bubba like weren't really cleaning around the house, which was kind of a big issue. But I'm very easygoing and understanding, so I'm sure there's some other issues that have been in the house that I haven't always been there. But I mean, it's kind of what you expect. It's a bunch of dudes jacked up on testosterone living in the same house, so sometimes it gets a little physical at times if need be. But other than that, we're always good buds after it.
So you said they're both jacked up on testosterone. So like, what's like a specific memory you have of something chaotic going down?
Whether it's just them playing 2K or something in the other room, I can hear them just screaming at each other, yelling, getting up in each other's face. And like they mean well by it. They wrestle around and they push each other around. Like they just like to have fun.
What do you do in your free time?
During the season, not much free time. Your free time is enjoying like a couple Netflix shows and taking a nap, honestly. But during the spring, you have a lot more free time. Spring's a lot of fun. You get to kind of enjoy that more college experience. So that's where you get most of your free time from, though. But in my free time then, I do like to go to the beach. So enjoy the weather down here.
How does it feel not being able to go to a bowl game now that you lost that last game and that this upcoming game is now canceled?
Oh, well, we still get to go to a bowl game. It's just not the Orange Bowl, probably. So that yeah, it sucks really because we were really excited to go play in the Orange Bowl. That's a big one, but we'll wait till this weekend, and on Sunday night, I think is what we'll find out what bowl game we'll be going to. So we still get to play another game and get to finish the year and hopefully finish out on the right note, especially after that last one. So we'll just have to wait and see.
How do you either personally or as a team? How do you guys like come back from a loss like that?
Yeah, I mean, like that one's tough. That's a lot different. I mean, there's difference between losing by a point or a touchdown, but to lose by that much, that one hurts. So I mean, we just got to come back together as a team because I mean, we know we have something special. We just kind of have to kind of look at the film and look at what we did wrong.
So obviously, right now we're still stuck in this pandemic. So when it first started, back in March and April, and there weren't really any plans in college sports, and the season was up in the air for you guys. What did you do, like, in terms of your spring ball, in terms of like off-season training? Like, how was that impacted?
Yeah, honestly, I really thought my like off-season training this summer was actually really good. I mean, my dad told me all the time that like the season's going to come before you know it. I mean, I know it's still up in the air, but we both firmly believed that it was going to happen no matter what. So it is going to happen. We don't know exactly when, but whenever it is, you got to be ready for it. So, I mean, I have like a kind of like a weight room in my garage at home, and then I have a track nearby. So, I mean, I was working out 2 times a day. In the morning, I like set up my own workouts then, and then in the afternoon, I would follow the workouts that our strength coach would send us. And I mean, it kept me busy and it kept me sane, honestly, being in quarantine and stuff or just staying at home. But I really thought that the workouts were good. And when I came back, I felt like I was in really good shape and honestly, probably in better shape than most guys. So I honestly didn't mind it. Getting to stay home and kind of do my own thing was really nice.
That concludes our episode with Will Mallory.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, guys.